This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Ruchim Abam. Welcome back. Hope everybody had a nice Yom Tov. We are continuing in Mishnah Berura Daf Hashavua. We're up to Siman Vav, and we're up to Sif Katan Yud Aleph. The Ramah said that at the very least, do not make Netilas Yadayim twice. In other words, the Mechaber said some have a custom to wait to make Netilas Yadayim until they get to shul, and they say it with the other brachos. They don't say it when they wash their hands, they put it with the other brachos, but the Bnei Sfard, they make the bracha right away. So the Ramah says, whichever one you're going to do, just don't do it twice. And then the Ramah said that somebody who says on Netilas Yadayim at home should not say it in the shul. Someone who says in shul should not make it at home. Somebody who learns before they daven, or mispalel koidem, or davens before, yivarchem avesai, you make the bracha in your house. Lo yivarch beis, you do not make the bracha in the shul. But va'afilu b'chahai gavna, even in such a scenario, yesh noigin l'sajam imshar brachas v'beis hakneses, even in such a situation where somebody is learning first, there are those who have a custom that they still delay making the bracha Netilas Yadayim until they get to shul, and they do not make the bracha at home. Meaning, the minhag of many places, of many people, is that they delay making the Netilas Yadayim until they're saying it with the other brachas hashachar. Just gonna mute everyone. Okay. Says the Mishnah Berura, Sivkat Yin Aleph, B'chahai Gavna, Hainu, Mashanoyagim Roiv Hamoin Ha'am, L'spal Selichos Koidem HaBoiker B'mei Selichos. Most people, they daven Selichos before daybreak, V'sham Maskirin Kama Psukim, and in Selichos they say many Psukim, V'achar Kach Mevarchin Han Netilas Yadayim Berachas HaTorah, and then afterwards they say Netilas Yadayim and Berachas HaTorah. Meaning, the Ramah says, even in such a scenario, where somebody's learning at home, or davening early. What does it mean, davening early? What does it mean to daven before you daven? How do you daven before you daven? What that's talking about is to say slichos before davening, and you do not make the bracha. So they make the Ramah said those who daven before davening, in other words, saying slichos, they make the Netilas Yadayim in their house, and the Ramah said even in such a scenario, some still delay doing it until they get to shul. Now, is that correct? Because there are two issues here. They're making the Netilas Yadayim later. They're also making the Berachas HaTorah later. Is that a good idea? Is that a good idea to say Selichos and then to make Berachas HaTorah later? But they're saying Psukim before they say Berachas HaTorah. So regarding Berachas HaTorah, Ule'inyin Berachas HaTorah Yesh Li'ashiv K'tzas. Regarding Berachas HaTorah, you could faren for a little bit. You could rationalize it. The Oisana Psukim Ein Oimer Noisam Ela Derech Tefillah. The Psukim that they're saying, even though they're Psukim from Tanakh, that could be explained because they're not saying it derech lima, they're saying it derech tefillah. According to some poskim, they are not chayiv in it. Now the Bir Halacha does say that regarding karbanos, you can't utilize this svara. Well, I'm saying it derech tefillah, I'm not saying it derech limud. As we learned, the whole mechanism of karbanos is it's b'derech Torah. Kol haloi made parshas oila kilikav oila. So you cannot rely on that. Now, the truth is, the conclusion there in Siman Mem Zayin is that you should not say psukim even derech tefillah before Berachas HaTorah. There is what to rely on. There are shittos that say you can. The conclusion is it's best not to. But at least you could explain those who say Selichos and then say Berachas HaTorah after. Ayin sham b'Mishnah Berura. Ach le'inyan Netilas Yadayim. But regarding Netilas Yadayim, shemafsikin ma'afsaka kazois, tzarch iyan li'ashiv. Somebody is saying, making a very big hefsek. They're washing their hands, they're saying Selichos, or they're washing their hands, they're learning, and then they're going to make the bracha later. That's very hard to explain. The consensus of the Achronim is not to do this. Rather, you should make the bracha in your house as soon as you get up. V'shuv Ein levarech al Netilas Yadayim v'chazon, and do not make the bracha again. Siman Zayin Seif Aleph, or don't make the bracha al Netilas Yadayim, but rather, so then you say, if I'm not going to make the bracha, then there's a big hefsek between washing and making the bracha. No, after Selichos, oisha be'ez kumai lo yivarach al Netilas Yadayim, ela achar gemara Selichos yivdoi gas on the kavav, check if you have to go to the bathroom, or yotol mayim v'yishavshef, or urinate and you'll soil your hands, v'oz yivarach al Netilas Yadayim, v'asher yatzar v'yispalo, k'mo shukasavnu el b'shem achayadam. Right, so this was a question that a number of you raised. You get up, you learn, and then you daven. When should you make Berachas HaTorah? When should you make Netilas Yadayim? Because if you're going to wash your hands when you get up, to delay making the bracha until later, it's too much of a hefsek. To make the bracha totally later, but you need to clean your hands before, so I clean my hands before, so the best eitzah is always to go to the bathroom again, and this way you could definitely make the bracha of Netilas Yadayim. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one more day because today was short and I have to stay ahead. Okay.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.